Hello hearties and welcome to this week's video. Now this week's video is slightly different in nature to the normal videos I create because it's much more spontaneous than usual. I've got my video set up here, my kit set up, but instead of being set up to create pre-planned videos, which is what I'm normally doing, the video setup is here because I'm actually in the process of creating a very different set of videos at the moment. What I'm doing is I'm in the process of creating some introductory training content for a new membership site. So you may be aware, you may not be aware, but in November, the November just gone, I actually did a pre-beta launch of a new membership community. I opened it up only to people who have done my other programs previously. I invited them in as founding members, and with their input and feedback, I'm in the process of developing a full membership community and membership site. So the job at present is creating this introductory training. So the core of the membership is all built around the 5 stages of a successful heart-centered business, where there's a journey that I can take members on from joining the membership through this sort of stage-by-stage journey to create a genuinely successful and sustainable heart-centered business without compromising their values or integrity. And as part of that, I'm putting together this introductory training to talk people through the 5 stages of business, to share my own approach and philosophy and the things that I think are important in terms of thinking and approach when it comes to starting and running a small business. So far so good, except I got stuck, and particularly on the first day it was really painful. I just didn't seem to be getting any real momentum. I'd spent a day beforehand planning out what I wanted to say in the videos, but I was just getting stuck. And it turned out the reason I was getting stuck was because I had slipped back into some old perfectionist tendencies. And what I'd done is I'd forgotten a very, very important mantra, which I leaned on very heavily during my first 2 years in business, which was good enough is perfect. And if I hadn't been able to live by that mantra, good enough is perfect, during my first 2 years in business, I don't think I would have ever run my first workshop. I wouldn't have run my first webinar to sell my first online program. I wouldn't have delivered the first online program. I wouldn't have run my first big live event. I wouldn't have launched my first mentoring program. I became comfortable in that first 2 years of being willing to get moving and putting things out, even when things were not perfect. And when I say they were not perfect, they were really not perfect. You know, my branding and my online presence was nothing like what it's like today. I didn't have the money, the resources, the team to do things that looked glossy and professional. So everything was a bit cobbled together. I didn't have the right tech set up. I had my course just used to sit on a page on a website. I didn't have a proper sales page. When I used to run workshops without branded PowerPoints. There was so much that I did in my early days that was not perfect, was not glossy, just didn't really have the look and feel that I was completely happy with. Yet I got on and took action, and it was the action that I took in those first 2 years of business that really propelled me forwards to where I am now. So of course, what happened yesterday was that I was out having a walk in the morning, and it suddenly came to me that the reason I was struggling so much to create this content at the moment was because I had forgotten that all-important early mantra. So I've gone back to my roots, I have adapted my mantra a little, and I have made my mantra good enough for now. And what I'm doing is I am now sitting down and I'm recording this introductory content. And instead of worrying about whether it's perfect, about whether I'm getting the exact message across in the exact way I mean to, instead of worrying too much about the positioning and how does it look and is there a awkward hesitation or a pause or somewhere where I stumble over my words, all of those places where I feel inclined to go back in and re-record, I'm now saying, good enough for now, just keep going, keep recording, good enough for now. And I'm reminding myself that if I get it good enough for now, I can always come back and recreate this content later on. I'm also reminding myself that if I don't opt for the mantra good enough for now and I slip back into my perfectionist tendencies, there's a very high chance that I won't have this content created in time, and it will delay the actual creation and build of the new membership site, and that will delay me being able to launch the membership, which will delay me being able to welcome in a new batch of members and give them the support in growing their businesses that I know I'm able to give. And the other thing I'm needing to remind myself, which is again something I used to talk to my clients about a lot a few years ago, which is that when we are perfectionists, we have a tendency to not be completely happy with anything at less than 100% of the quality we know we are capable of putting out there if we just worked harder, re-recorded it, made it a little bit more perfect. But that actually most of the time our clients are happy, more than happy, delighted with what we would consider to be 60 or 70% of our highest quality work. And so it becomes so much more important that we're willing to put our work out there when it's less than perfect in order that our clients can benefit from what we have to share. So the reason this video is spontaneous is because I got to thinking, well, if I really needed this reminder today, and if I had fallen into this trap of tying myself up in knots and delaying getting a really important piece of work done because I was slipping into my perfectionist tendencies, perhaps you would benefit from the same reminder. So I'm here today to ask you, what are you currently working on that you are allowing to be delayed or that you're being stuck about because of a tendency to want to get it perfect? And if there's something like that, can you commit to actually adopting the mantra, good enough for now? Knowing that in fact, good enough, your good enough, is perfect for so many of your clients and the people who are going to access it. Also knowing that you can go back at any time and improve it. So an example of this would be the first free giveaway that I created to put up on my website. It wasn't great, but I got something up and 6 months later I recreated it so that it was of a higher quality. And what would be the impact to your business of continuing to delay this rather than getting it good enough for now? So please let me know. That's my call out challenge to you today. What can you do? What can you get good enough for now that you can actually get complete today or this week to keep you moving forward? Go ahead. Go find the comments below this video, type in and let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. And for now, I'm going back to keep recording these absolutely good enough videos that I'm working on today. Bye for now.